Today's discussion with the President was basically based on some other requests that we made from the Stock Exchange, and even the same work communicated to Securities and Exchange Commission. We met the board of directors and the commissioners of both those institutions a couple of days back, and at the same time there was an invitation from the President's house also to brief him about the request or the development in the market. So we made that an opportunity to brief the President as to some of the requests, some of the things that we think should be done in order to bring back the level of confidence into the market. Because we observe that there is a deterioration of confidence factor in the market. So we as an association thought that we must now get involved or step in to see what kind of short-term measures, medium-term measures and long-term measures that we can adopt in order to bring the market to what it was about 1.5 years ago. Having said that, we also understand, at that time the market PE was high and it was about 26, and today it has come down to 13. Now the valuations look much better, and most of the corporates have done well during the last quarter. Most of them have recorded about 40% growth for the 6 months. So technically speaking, there's no real reason for the market to keep coming down. So that is why we thought, okay, let's make a short-term and a medium-term plan, and then try to improve the current status quo of the market. So this was the main reason why we went to, not why we went to, but what we basically briefed the President about.
What are the basic demands and what are the President?
Yeah, we basically, as short measures, we basically demanded certain things like to restore more credit facilities to the brokers so that they can increase much needed liquidity right now. And earlier we used to have about 10 times of our net capital can be given. We were able to give 10 times of our net capital, but then it was brought down to just 0 times. And then we asked the President, it is better if we can have about 3 times, because now that the market risk which prevailed about 1.5 years ago is now no more in the market, because the valuations are basically better again. So in taking that into account, he said now it's the appropriate time to relax some of the credit rules and allow more credit to be given to the market. That's one. And we also asked the President to look into the Exchange Control Act, where some of the foreign brokers are not permitted to have margin trading in Sri Lanka as per the Exchange Control Act. So we basically made a request from him to look into that and make the necessary changes in order to allow foreign brokers to extend margin trading in Sri Lanka. And then we also touched upon the current rule on commercial banks lending to the share market is about 5% of the loan portfolio. So this has to be, we made a request for that to be increased up to about 7.5%, so that more cash can be infused into the system.
So how is the President's reaction about the
President was basically very positive about all what we said. He also understands the fact that certain changes are necessary, and when the right time comes, certain changes you must do, and that he would get in touch with the relevant people and get back to us. And we must also say, I must make a special statement to say thank you to the President, for giving us a very fair and a patient hearing. And so all credit must also go to the President for calling us for a meeting of this nature.
From the regulatory perspective, what are you expecting from them?
No, we are not. We are basically, we told them, we have very simple requests like to allow us to extend more credit, and then also to revisit the areas like price bands, which has not been a real success. Instead, introduce circuit breakers, but we used to have previously. And so those were the basic requests from the regulators' point of view, and so the same is now briefed to the President as well. So, we can only hope something good will happen in time to come.
According to your personal opinion, what are the main reasons for the recent downfall of the market?
No, it is not just one reason. There are so many reasons, and one basic reason is loss of confidence in the market. And
why is that reason?
Yeah, there are things that are within our control, and there are things which are not within our control. We cannot get involved with government decisions. Whatever the decisions taken by the government, they do it with a longer term idea in mind. So those are the things that we cannot get involved as a community. And what is happening internationally, we have no control. But obviously certain things like granting credit and or making certain changes to the existing systems, those are the things that are within our control. So we as an association only try to control what we can influence, and others will take longer term, and those things will be included in our medium to long term plan. So this is our basic short.
What is your opinion about the recent takeover bill and the rupee revaluation?
Well, certain various investors obviously would not like to see such things. But if the government wishes that, if that is the wish of the government to introduce certain bills in the interest of the majority citizens of the country, and however much we talk about it, it's the decision of the government.
So how about the future? What about your future?
We are, of course, positive about the future, especially because the central bank has given an assurance that, those would be the only takeovers, and especially with regard to the expropriation bill. And also, I think if I remember right, they also said there won't be any further devaluation to the rupee. So if they are firm on what they say, I think the investor confidence should come back to the market in another couple of months' time.
Any message to the investor community?
No, I think what we would like to tell the investor community is look at the current valuations of the companies. There are good companies that investors can buy and hold for long term, medium term, even short term. So they must relook at the market again now that it has come down drastically, and valuations are much better than what it was 1 year ago. So we basically urge everyone to look at the market now.